would like to welcome you and your dumb faces to the Pittsburgh Pile Driver Podcast. Fa la 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 la. Ta da 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 da. Do 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 do. It's podcast time. Tra la la. Beef is here. Do 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 do. He does beef things. Ba da 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 da. He's got knowledge. He's got ranting, and sometimes he has gummies. Poot is here. Boo boo boo. Poot is here. Dee dee dee. He's a barbarian and also a bard. That's why you call him the Barbarian. He will sing things to you, speak to you with his silver tongue. You'll get the shivers. You'll get the jollies. Something will happen down in your trolleys. Tom is here. Fa la la. That's right, everybody. Tom is here. He does gamings on the reg. You can check him out on the thing. Probably a Discord, maybe a Twitch, maybe a YouTube. Oh, what a snitch. I'm going to go ahead and say you should subscribe to Casual Gaming Dad. Fa la la la. And last but not least, tra la la. Ransom. Boo doop boop. Hey, let's talk about wrestling. Because now I'm sweating out of breath.
I can confirm as a man of the black dots that was A++. Beethoven.
Give this man a Tony.
Beethoven's gonna come back from the grave, and he's going to hand over his piano to you, and everything will be good.
The last thing I need is for zombie Beethoven to be delivering musical instruments.
Oh my God, Ransom! You killed zombie Beethoven.
Oh no, zombie Beethoven. Zombie Ransom-toven. Oh.
Great.
Hey, I don't. Oh, sorry.
Jesus.
I'm getting over the black lung. What goes on in the wrestling world these days? Because there hasn't been a pay-per-view. We don't have picks. So generally, I have no idea what's happening. I'm a great person to be on a wrestling podcast.
We got CM Punk Samoa Joe 4. That was fun.
That was the first Punk victory, right? Over the Joes?
Over the Joes.
Yo, Joe.
I was wildly impressed with the Joes and the Punks. It was a good story told. They hid their age as well. I'll put it that way. I know that might sound kind of crass, but like it's true. Like, I mean, they hid their age as well. They told the story.
Man, I've seen CM Punk wrestle. You can say that. His age is shown.
No, it's the old Paul Heyman thing. Accentuate the strengths and hide the negatives. You know what I mean?
Look, CM Punk, I know he's got Kevin Nash's number because he was texting him that one time on Raw. So Punk should subscribe to the Kevin Nash Hair Gel for Hair Club Men Dye Hair Men Club, and get that gray out of your beard because your beard looks as old as you look wrestling. It's not good.
Nah, man.
Where's beef?
Yeah, where's beef? Hey, beef.
Your beard looks weird. Your mustache is crooked.
Trying to get this stupid fucking archaic Nintendo Switch to fucking do anything before I chuck it across the room.
Or you could let it do its thing and talk about the graps.
Well, I'm going to agree with Booker T here, man. He kind of fired a shot at Samoa Joe and CM Punk. And I agree. He said something to the ilk of, it's not quite what it looked like in our 20s. And I agree. It was okay. I think it was hype for hype's sake. Yeah, all right. In 2023, yeah, it was a great wrestling match, sure. But, like, if you go back and you watch this fucking, 60-minute masterclasses, man, that does not hold a candle. And I wasn't expecting it. Hold on. You asked for my opinion. I'm giving it to you. I didn't expect it to be fucking Punk Joe 2 or whatever. Like, no, I tempered my expectations. First of all, I hate network TV. I really do. Like, give me an option to pay $5 more and I will watch it without commercials like they do over in fucking Britain. Like, I don't want fucking picture-in-picture dumbass bullshit. I want to watch a unedited wrestling show, and if I have to pay $5 a month to do that, $10 a month to do that, that's fine. Whatever. So that always detracts from, like, what a great match! Oh my god, we'll be right back. Check out a picture-in-picture for 2 commercials, and then we'll go full screen for another fucking 3 minutes. No, like, that just breaks up any kind of momentum you have for a great match.
You've never been a fan of that.
I never have, and I think it's so fucking stupid. But, like, on the other side of things, I don't like that whole, like, Vince McMahon mantra of, like, 2 years ago where it was like, all right, let's do a segment between commercials. And let's figure out a way to stop the match like an idiot, and then restart
and come
it
back
after
as a
the
tag
commercial.
match.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, no, I you know what? Like, that was dumb too. I just like I guess, you know. And again, like I preach Collision's fucking hype. I love Collision. I think it's a great show. I think it's the wrestling show. So yeah, you're gonna see bangers on Collision, and you have, and you will continue to do so. I just hate whenever good matches are interrupted by commercials, and you can't get away from it. I get it. But yeah, I mean, Joe Punk 4 was what it was. Yeah, I mean, Poot's right. It was a story. It was a good story.
You had to have gone in with tempered expectations. I did.
Now, hold on a second.
I did.
I'm having a hard time believing something that I'm hearing. Beef, are you telling me that you were not sitting there, pants around your ankles, with a full erection with a Pepsi tattoo on your penis in support of your favorite wrestler? Come on.
Oh dear.
I don't need this, Tom. I don't need this. I got plenty of people looking to put me down.
Oh.
We all
what?
Listen, we're always willing to pick you up, buddy. We love you.
It was
right back up.
It was
stun you right back down. Oh, sorry.
It was a Bill Murray quote from Ghostbusters 2. I think. Anyway. It was 1 or 2. I don't remember. My point remains. I thought it was. I thought it was what it was. I thought it was okay. Everything is right now resting on one centralized theme with CM Punk in my mind.
Uh-oh.
What's that?
He has to put Ricky Starks over on Saturday nights. If CM Punk wins the Owen, like, I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna completely, like, disown my love for Punk, but I will. My respect for him will diminish greatly because he has all these lofty fucking ideals about wanting to put over this young talent. And he's beaten, what has he done so far? He's beaten fucking Darby. He's beaten fucking MJF. Like, now, like, all of a sudden, if he beats fucking Ricky Starks in the Owen, like, what are we doing here?
But
Like,
did he dial it back, Tom? Let's say that he vocalizes his what did you say he has? His lofty what?
His lofty ideals.
Ideals, yes.
Let's say he vocalizes his lofty. I've yet to see the lofty ideals really get put into play. And let's face it, Punk's not a guy to sit back and go, hey, you know what? I think MJF should beat me. I think these guys should beat me. And Tony goes, no, we want you to beat them. And Punk to go, well, okay, Tony. All right. I mean, I guess I have no choice. That's not a Punk thing. If he truly believed it, he would fight.
There's no denying that Darby has gone on to greatness since facing CM Punk. There's no denying that MJF has gone on to greatness since his feud with CM Punk. This is all true.
Well,
I don't know the
God, no. Sorry.
I think you and I were about to say the same thing. I don't know that he was right. I don't know that he was a pivotal piece in that.
Yeah. Like, would Darby have not gone on to great things had it not been for Punk? Are you telling me that MJF wouldn't be a star?
I will say that I think that Punk helped perpetuate MJF into the stratosphere. I think that MJF was headed there, but I think that CM Punk put a rocket on his back with that feud. So that one, I think,
I'm not convinced, but I won't argue it.
That one, but at the end of the day, my point remains: Ricky Starks has to beat CM Punk in the Owen. If he doesn't, then this. If I can't scuba, what the hell has this whole thing been about?
You know why?
Nice.
You know why I'm kind of concerned that Punk is going to go over, is because
Big red bag. The big red bag.
not
Santa
even
Claus?
not even the big red blaggard. The big red bag. It's not even that. It's because I understand they were in Canada and he came out and did big face talkies about big face Owen Hart. My thing is that he was coming out there and really lauding Ricky Starks. He was being big face CM Punk. And I think what they're doing is trying to make him big face CM Punk, hoping that there won't be blowback. Which,
Oh, no. You think
I'm saying
they're getting good graces in so that if it happens, there's not going to be colossal boos.
Yes, and now my thing is though, and I will say this. I think that them doing that is just kind of opening the window for the possibility. I don't think it's necessarily like a foregone conclusion. Don't get me wrong on that, because it just makes sense. It just makes sense to have Ricky Starks win because, again, about the whole building talent, building new talent, building the future. And Ricky Starks is one of the guys that we have constantly said is the future of the business.
Who's building the future?
AEW. Like, that's the thing. It's like, focus on the younger guys, This is a place of wrestling. This is, blah, 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 bing, bang, bong, to borrow the phrase of a man.
Let's not go fast and loose with the word man.
I don't think that's debatable. I think that 2023 has absolutely been the fucking year of the youth in AEW.
They've been there. They've been there. I'm not saying that they're not doing a good job. I mean, like you said, Darby Allin, and MJF. I mean, doing different stuff with Jungle Boy. They're using the legends in a pretty much appropriate way. But I'm just saying, I would not put it past them, and I think that would be a huge misstep. And I think it would cause a lot of backfire. I think it would cause a lot of blowback. And,
I got no opinion on it because I don't ever get to watch AEW, so it's kind of all. I'm going. I got nothing on that. Sorry.
Listen, you don't watch it, but still, what's your opinion on, like, if Punk would go over versus if Ricky Starks would go over? Like,
missed opportunity.
So it would be a grave injustice if Punk went over, or would you be moderately okay with it?
At this point, I don't know. I have tempered expectations, I guess, because just because of seeing. How should I put this? It depends on where the hell Tony Khan's head is at in the first place. Because my whole thinking, and I know, I don't know how to do this without comparing apples to oranges, but I'm going to do it anyways. Is Tony Khan the kind of guy that's, lets the whole fucking gripe bomb happen in the first place? Or is he somebody, that would, anybody else gets out of line like that he learned from mistakes, now he's going to, stop that shit from ever happening again, like happening in that presence. So now flash forward. If CM Punk is politicking or anything like that, because let's be real, every wrestler to an extent politics. Like, politicking doesn't have to be as dirty of a word as it is, but everybody is, out to do the best they can for themselves, sometimes to the detriment of others. If Punk is politicking his way into winning or whatever, trying to put the bug in Tony's ear, is Tony gonna be the one who ultimately has the say-so of who's going to go over or not. Is he going to be the one to give in to Punk and then, see where the chips fall that way? Or is he going to be somebody that takes an opportunity for somebody who is already pretty well over with the crowd, like a Ricky Starks, to further propel them, up the ladder and up the, into the stratosphere of even bigger stardom. I don't know.
I think the other kind of leg that this whole thing is built on is that Collision is known as the Punk show. And like reports
that in itself, like what
reports have come out that like he's taking his role as leader very seriously and like trying to put his stamp on that show to make it a great show, trying to be the guy that they want him to be, trying to be the backstage veteran, the leader. All that leads me to believe that yes, the right thing is going to happen on Saturday night, that Ricky Starks is going to go over.
Okay. I mean, I hope so.
I just Tony Khan's a mark. And I say that in the most loving way possible, and that we're all marks. Like, yes, we know the business is fake, but like we're a mark for the people in the business. So like in that way, I think we're all marks. Tony Khan's a big mark, and I know he's a big CM Punk guy, and I know that he thinks that he has these big lofty ideals for what he wants CM Punk to be and who he can be and what he can do for his product. And I think somewhere deep down inside, there's probably a Phil Brooks that can be that guy. If it's me, I want the quick and dirty payoff. Like, give me Ricky Starks beating CM Punk for the Owen, and I'll say, okay, I believe that Phil is here to play ball. If Punk wins the Owen, and let's not pretend that like the Owen Hart tournament is like the biggest fucking prize in pro wrestling. Okay, it's a great tournament. It's been a very fun watch, but so has the fucking the blind tag eliminator. Like that's been a fun thing too. So like everything that they're doing right now is really hitting on all cylinders. And yeah, like Adam Cole won the Owen last year, and he really couldn't pivot from it because he got hurt immediately thereafter. I just worry that like I don't know. I think the whole thing kind of comes around. I think that Ricky Starks beats Punk on Saturday night, and then Punk goes to get the bag, and the Owen belt's in his bag, and he's like, "Aha! See what I was doing? The guy who beat me won the Owen. Aha! It's all cyclical." And we are all like, "Haha! Okay, everybody wins." That's kind of like best case scenario for me. And I just hope that Tony Khan doesn't mark for Punk too hard.
But again, like I said, Punk is no stranger to being vocal and
sure
issuing his demands.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that if Tony decided to go Marksville, that if Punk was really truly the savior of the younger generation, that he wouldn't put a full-blown halt to that and go, "No, you're doing it wrong. We need to do it this way. I'm demanding that we do it this way."
Sure.
So, I don't know. Like,
I mean,
honestly, there's no excuse for Ricky Starks not to win other than both Tony and Punk wanted Punk to win. That's the only scenario I can get behind if Punk wins. Like, they both wanted it to happen at that point.
Which would be silly.
Yes, hopefully that doesn't happen.
But I like I said, man, I got faith that this is gonna work out. It's all gonna be fine. And I'm now starting to look towards Wembley
What?
and say who's got Punk at Wembley. Because, again, you can't have, ideally, well, not ideally, you can't have one of your biggest talents off the card just because the Young Bucks are bee-boo-being. And make no mistake, if you report
Doing
to bee-boo-being,
I don't know what that means.
bee-boo-being, make no mistake, if you listen to reports, Moxley's fine with Punk. Punk's like, I'll work with the Elite. Kenny's fine with Punk. It's the fucking Young Bucks that are like, nope, we don't want to do it. Punk went to be the Blackpool Combat Club's partner in Blood and Guts coming up in a couple weeks. And the Bucks are like, no way, man, we're not doing it. Like, the Bucks at this point aren't playing ball. And, yeah, I mean, and that's the other side of this is that, like, yeah, Punk's a giant ego and he's a big time fucking dickhead. But the Bucks have a pretty big fucking ego too. So
yep.
if you listen to Nick and Matt Jackson, they are the heart, soul, and the mind of all Elite Wrestling. Without them, there would be no All Elite Wrestling. You're like, yeah, Kenny Omega, he's a good hand, and Hangman, he's a nice young stud, and Cody Rhodes, brought a big name, and Tony Khan brought some money, but without the Young Bucks, there's no AEW.
See, the Young Bucks have one more tick in the not so good column than Punk does, and that's that they're EVPs.
Yep.
So,
which reportedly hasn't meant much anymore.
Oh, so it's just like a working title.
That's kind of what it seems. It seems like Tony's kind of been like, all right, here's the drill. Now, again, like, things are sparse. It's not like WWE where shit comes out of the AEW locker room pretty frequently. Like, things are pretty tight-lipped around there, so who knows? And I mean, like, right now, they've been embroiled with the Blackpool Combat Club for fucking years. So, like, right now, everything's all fucking juice boxes and fucking cranberry sauce.
Ooh.
But, like...
What?
You heard me. Juice boxes and cranberry sauce. But, one...
Weird Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Right?
Are you at the kiddie table?
What's best? Maybe.
Nerd, he'll never get up.
That's the best fucking table, you fucking clods.
Buy one of them chairs.
Anyway,
we're betting on, right? We're picking Wembley.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. That's end of August. We got SummerSlam coming up in a couple weeks, and
next week? No.
Is it?
August 5th is SummerSlam.
No,
3
I don't
weeks.
care about
3 weeks.
SummerSlam.
Of course you don't.
What's Wembley? When's Wembley? When is it?
Late August. Last weekend of last weekend of August, I believe.
Okay. So listen, there's a couple things. First things first.
Second.
Second? No. I neglected.
Abstentions?
No.
Object.
Motion passes.
Damn it.
I was neglectful in mentioning this at the top of the hour.
Motion is sustained.
You're fired. At the top of the show, I was neglectful in mentioning the fact that this gentleman is our number 200th show that we are currently recording right now.
Oh, shit.
Is
200. Big 200 right here.
Well, happy fucking 200, boys. That's exciting.
Happy 200. So, that's a thing. Also, I would like to make a motion that for picks, we put a 1 point, take it or leave it, bonus pick bet on whether or not at Wembley for All In, All Out, what's it called?
all in.
All In, CM Punk gets injured.
Ooh.
I'll put a big hot point in the yes column on that one because it's going to be Wembley. It's going to be All In. He's going to be like, well, I'm CM Punk and I got to show everybody what the what is. And here we go. Somersault plancha crack. Oh, my body!
Plancha.
I'm hurt. I'm tired. I work with friggin' children.
I don't think we have to worry about that.
Oh, okay. I
think-
can't wait.
I think that his days of suicide diving are over.
Let's try something dumb. I'm gonna do a reverse Canadian destroyer from the top rope onto a pile of chairs and spike tacks. Here we go, baby. Oh no, I'm old and broken and hurt, and I work with children. Boo.
I think he's gonna be better about working smarter than not harder. Let fucking Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega go out there and steal the show, because that's exactly what's gonna happen. I don't care what anybody else does. I think that Tony Storm and Jamie Hayter are gonna have like the second best match in the card, but without a doubt, like it's gonna be Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega having the best match in the card, and it's gonna take a big deal to change my mind.
Somebody would have to work extra super hard at having a match better than those two.
Right.
Like,
And I haven't even watched Kenny and Ospreay 2 from Forbidden Door yet, because I just don't know that my mind is ready to like process how. And I've heard how
it's
amazing
good.
it was.
I'm
heard.
back. Sorry, guys.
Welcome back.
you missed. Oh gosh.
Dead.
What did I miss?
Live zombie ransom. You missed the announcement that I told everybody, and I told them that I was neglectful in stating this at the top of the hour when we started the podcast.
Yeah.
We're currently recording our 200th show.
Oh shit!
Yeah, buddy.
200.
Two double deuce.
Or
Big
according
double
to
deuce.
Google Podcast, episode
double up?
196.
Yeah.
Right, or fucking
Not
like
even.
72.
I had to. I'm sorry.
No, it is.
I love you.
What program?
No,
is
it's
that?
not Anchor.
Anchor.
No, it's not Anchor
Stupid
this
Anchor.
time. It's not Anchor this time. This is me just being a fucking lazy, shiftless layabout.
Well, look, I don't care what you
that is
say.
what
I'm
it is.
blaming Anchor anyway.
You can't. But
Same as
Screw you
Sean.
and your admissions of guilt. I'm gonna blame Anchor.
Same as Sean
that's-
Tischler. Same as Sean Tischler would always sell fucking garage doors and shit. Like Anchor will always be, responsible for all of our like online
our
misdoings.
woes,
So,
even if it has
yeah.
nothing to do
13
with
months
Anchor.
behind.
Oh God,
Thanks,
we have to do this now. We have to get get the meme of like the person riding the bicycle, superimpose our logo over the face, stick the spoke in the wheel, be like, God damn Anchor.
Poots over stressed on we is the stick, and then just
Yes.
say fucking Anchor. No, this time.
It's the Pittsburgh Piledriver Podcast driving the bike, and then it's just a big, very long, skinny, elongated poot. And we shove it in the spokes, and we blame Anchor. Dang it, Anchor! Look what you did.
No, this time.
look what Anchor did to us, man.
This time, fully admitting it, it's just me, because whenever we're done with the podcast, I go straight to bed and I go, I'll do that tomorrow, and I never fucking do it.
Fair.
But
fair.
I will.
YouTube is a viable source. Why can't people just listen on YouTube?
No, that's
We're an actual
Well,
podcast.
because
you're a
cares?
podcast.
well, because when the fucking screen dims, like so does the sound.
Uh-huh.
And
Yep.
so
My
do.
screen never dims.
Well, I
That's
mean,
why
mine
we have
doesn't
the
either,
logo.
but
The logo's on. It's a video. The
Well, yeah,
screen
but
stays on all the time, unless you have some sort of,
yeah,
dumb,
but then you got
stupid Android phone.
Not,
no, but then
yeah,
you got to keep it on the whole time and open.
And
whereas with an
not
actual
in your
podcast,
pocket, right? Exactly.
I can keep it in my pocket. Why can't you keep it in your pocket? What's wrong? What's in your pockets?
I don't know, man. I want to fucking butt dial my fucking
Butt
mother. I don't
dial? What
wanna
is it?
deal with that.
1996?
All right. Anyway, we're way off topic here, gentlemen. It
You're
has
out of line.
been approximately like what 3 weeks since fucking LA Knight has put the world on fucking fire with some of the best promos in the world, and he was not on SmackDown last week. He
Yes!
wasn't on Raw last week. I don't understand. Somebody help me the fuck understand why the fuck LA Knight is not on my TV screen every single week. Oh, wait,
So-
it's because Bloodline is taking up an hour of programming every week.
Now, Beef, hold on.
Dummies.
Hold on. Yeah.
It was literally an hour. Literally an hour.
I
last week.
understand. I understand. But remember that nice conversation we had about long-term
Torm.
storytelling? Yeah.
Said Torm, I heard it.
Yeah. I did. Long-term
Was this
storytelling, and you admitted when you were wrong. Pepperidge Farms remembers.
My guy is 40 years old.
I know. I know.
He ain't got no long term, man. Get that title on him before he fucking turns to dust.
I don't disagree with you
Dusty
on
old
that.
bones!
Bro, just because you're 40 and have 1 foot in the grave doesn't mean every 40-year-old does.
One day you're fucking
True.
Finn Balor out there wrestling 5-star matches with a 40-year-old. The next day you turn 42 and you're Rob Van Dam going, I don't think I can do this shit anymore.
But also smoking a lot of weed, sitting in a lot of hot tubs, and banging a lot of hot women.
Yeah, there is that.
What a
Yeah.
horrible life.
I know, right? You know what?
Well, you know,
Rob Van Dam, you wasted it.
You know what I have a problem with more so than LA Knight not being on
Come with me,
TV.
people, and you're gonna hear about it.
Yeah,
We
I
lost
got-
Ransom.
I got a little bit of a problem with Logan Paul.
Why?
Okay. I'm listening.
So on his podcast now, I don't know if this
Never liked
is.
him.
I don't know. Well, this is true. I never liked him, but I have given him respect and credit where credit is due.
Accurate.
As his abilities as an athletic performer, it is well documented, as we would say. I have a bit of a problem. I don't know if it's a fucking work or if it's just him being his fucking actual human trash self. But
Jeez.
on his podcast, he talked about the spot that got screwed up between him and Ricochet, where they were supposed to do like this Spanish fly from the ladder to outside to on these tables or whatever.
Yeah, which looked okay, except for they
Okay.
kind of land on their heads. But yeah.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da-da.
On his podcast, he basically said, well, the move was botched, and he kind of shifted the blame to Ricochet, saying like, oh, his feet got here first before me and I wasn't ready, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, and then he proceeds to, he opened and like closed, he bookended his whole statement by saying, I don't know what I'm doing out there. And I'm thinking, okay.
You better
No.
Listen, he better be careful bookending things. Booker T's going to come after him about using his move.
Exactly.
Can you
Now,
dig it?
now here's
Copyright.
here's my problem with that. He puts no fucking accountability and onus on himself because it takes fucking two people to do something out there. One to give and one to take. I'm going to bring up a name from back in the day. You better be fucking careful or else he's going to get the fucking Ahmed Johnson treatment real quick.
Oh, no.
Fair.
Yeah.
So
Again, he'll be teamed with Booker T.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
first of all, I think that it's probably a fucking like work, a work. Like, it's very clear that they're moving towards a build for them at SummerSlam. Good for Pretty Ricky. I'm here for it. Whenever he says something like Ricochet's feet were here and I wasn't ready, that doesn't necessarily mean it was Ricochet's fault. Whenever I hear I wasn't ready, that immediately like makes me think that the onus is on. And I haven't heard the interview, so I obviously there's that, because you gain a lot from context clues. But like whenever I hear I wasn't ready, that immediately tells me that like that's them taking some of the onus. But him saying, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing out there. I'm supposed to be like he's supposed to be leading. I'm supposed to be following. Is not the best attitude to have. But again,
No, it's not. But he has to be careful with that because I mean, obviously, for what God knows whatever reason, because people are dumb and it's fine. He has a big following, obviously, which is why WWE fucking tapped him. And credit where credit is due. Credit where credit is due. He has athletic ability. The fact that he is very green compared to anybody else that he's been in the ring with, he looks very comfortable out there. He looks like he should be there. However, it's something that he has to be careful about with the onus of that because of his fans. That if he has those fans that aren't naturally wrestling fans or whatever, he's got whoever that his fans are. If something were to happen to him, then that reflects poorly on wrestling as a whole or whatever. It kind of puts a sour taste in the mouth for everybody. Like, oh, well, fucking my favorite YouTuber got hurt because he went out and did this goddamn wrestling match, motherfucker.
Could care less whether or not they're fans of wrestling.
Well, and here, but
human
that's
garbage. Who cares?
But that's the thing. It's just a matter of him not taking accountability himself. And honestly, whoever the fucking booker or agent was for that match should have fucking known a little bit better. That it should have been something that they went over and said, like Logan Paul basically said, like, okay, well, this fucking move got botched and I didn't know what to do in that moment because I don't know what I'm doing. Well, then fucking don't do those spots if you don't have a contingency plan or like something, just so you don't hurt yourself or the other performers that are out there in the ring with you. Like, you should go into the match, and if there's something you don't feel comfortable doing, don't fucking take that spot. Come up with another way to go about doing something. They could have done just any sort of fucking any other spot going through the table.
Somersault plancha.
They could have done any sort of fucking.
They could have, and there still would have been a spot. It didn't have to be, it didn't have to be this overly involved, complicated fucking Spanish Fly.
They set a precedence, though, man.
Okay, but hear me out. Like, we all think that, you know, Penta and fucking Ray Phoenix are two pretty safe workers. They take care of their opponents, and you know, I think it was Penta broke what's his name? Fucking Top Flight's ankle. He fucking Sid Vicious him at Ring of Honor at Mania Weekend because of just sometimes weird spots happen when you're going from the ladder to the ring to a table on the outside. These things happen. I don't think that anybody can be blamed. Whether you're Ricochet and you're a fucking 20-year veteran, or whether you're fucking Logan Paul and you've been in the business for fucking 5 years. Not even. Like, I don't think that anybody can, like, say it's X or Y. And I don't think that it's fair for Logan to try and... I think you're right. I don't think it's fair for Logan to try and shirk responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that he kind of has that... because of how he's being handled in the Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, fucking John Cena kind of way, where he only has to show up fucking 4 times a year because he's an attraction. Like, I think that is giving him a little bit of credence in his own mind to act like I'm the star. Whereas I think anybody else that's, you know, even if they're a fucking blue chipper, like fucking Vikingo, for example, like even if they're a guy, fucking Commander, who is amazing and is absolutely on the upswing, and they're going to be great in 2 or 3 years. I think one of those guys involved in that spot, they go, my bad. Like, you know, Ricochet, the 20-year veteran, he protected me. I wasn't where I should have been. Even if it wasn't their fault, they fall on the sword because that's what you do when you're coming up. Logan Paul never had to come up. He was up the whole time. So I think that that's kind of like what happens when you bring a megastar in. And I honestly think that Bad Bunny might be more akin to like a guy that would be like, my bad, I fucked up, even though it wasn't my fault. You know, I'm gonna say I fucked up. Whereas I think Logan Paul is the opposite. Like, hey, I'm here because I bring views and eyes, and they're both incredibly great at what they're doing right now in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And for being moguls outside of wrestling, transitioning to this sport has been amazing for both of them. So yes, absolutely, they both are taking this like fish in water. But like, yes, their attitudes are absolutely 100% different, and that's very clear.
Yeah, and that's more so my point. Like, I mean, I understand. Listen, nobody's perfect. Even the you know, some of the safest moves or whatever. Look at what happened back in the day with fucking D'Lo Brown and Draws. Like, it wasn't something insane. It was a simple power bomb.
Well,
and you know, and shit happens.
Draws.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Draws rest his heart even said, "I don't blame D'Lo for that."
Exactly, and that's more so my point is that, you know, Logan Paul watch your fucking mouth and take a little bit of onus and understand that, like, yeah, mistakes are going to happen, and be mindful, like, and then this is more so on like any of the veterans. Like, you got to be mindful of how your body actually really moves, because like depending on how you are flipping and going through the air, like your trajectory could definitely change how you land and hit through a table, or like how a table breaks. Look at back in the day with Sabu, and like if he would, moonsault or whatever, versus if he just goes and takes a simple like leg drop through the table, you have less of a chance of getting hurt. For like, it's just you just gotta be a little bit more mindful of people's abilities and what they're comfortable with and stuff like that. So that's on, the onus is on everybody involved, regardless. Like, that's, the onus is on Ricochet, the onus is on Logan Paul, the onus is on the fucking the agent or booker of the match for that. But it's also on Logan Paul to like watch his mouth and mind his P's and Q's, like, and yeah.
Yeah, oh boy, I had to hurry. I think we're missing the most important thing here, and that is the fact that Logan Paul said something that another well-known, one might say legend, has said in the past, and that is, I don't know what I'm doing out there. Can you name for me the legend who has said that in an interview before?
Goldberg?
That's right, it's Tom's boy Goldberg. So Logan Paul and Goldberg are essentially the same person. Enjoy.
I mean,
That's not fair.
Makes sense. They both wear gold. They're both people. They're both carbon-based, from what I can understand.
Logan Paul
they have
has
more in
drawn.
common than you might think. They're both made up primarily of water.
That is
Logan Paul has
accurate.
drawn. That's false too, because Logan Paul is like 98% prime. Logan Paul has drawn way more money than Goldberg has in his entire life. Fact.
No one is contesting the money that Logan Paul has made. As far as the wrestling world goes and their acknowledged knowledge of what's going on out there, neither one of them have any idea what they're doing.
It's fair.
Logan Paul versus Goldberg, WrestleMania, book it.
God help me, I will blow my brains out.
If there's anybody that can make
Goldberg's
you'll be
retirement match against Logan Paul.
And you'll be
if there's
back
anybody
to a
who can
permanent
fucking make
three-man
Goldberg look
podcast.
good, if there's anybody who can make Goldberg look good, it's fucking Logan Paul.
Heck,
Can anybody really make him look good?
We really go the distance, and we do a triple threat match with Goldberg, Logan Paul, and Ryback.
I quit.
Bret Hart is the special guest referee. It's an entire cauldron concoction of
Thanks, everybody.
terrible,
Bye.
grimy bullcrap. Bring it on.
Oh God, what a fucking terrible seed to plant in the fucking 200th
It's going to
episode.
blossom into the most beautiful, life-giving, gloriously lush-flowing tree you have ever seen.
The herb tree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I might have regretted my statements that I made Tuesday night, but I regret nothing now.
Oh boy. Well, okay. But no, I don't know, man. I think that being in true fashion, being Switzerland in this, I think it's a little bit of both. I do. I think it's Logan Paul not hearing what he's saying, if that makes sense.
It perfectly makes sense, especially when he fucking mocked a fucking dead person that committed suicide in the fucking over in Japan or whatever.
Yeah, I know, and it's him not hearing what he's saying and him not understanding the impetus of, even if he did understood what he said, it's the impetus of what how he said it. You know what I mean? I think that's part of it. And I honestly don't think that he blames Ricochet, because he said Ricochet's feet were in the wrong place and I wasn't there. How did he say it?
I'd have to go back and find the exact quote, but for all intents and purposes, he shifted blame to Ricochet, and didn't really take any responsibility for himself. Like, besides the only thing he took responsibility for was saying is, that I don't know what I'm doing out there. So
I think he's working everybody. I think that's absolutely happening.
What? And if he is, good on him, because it got me fucking heated about it. Cool. Good on him if that's the case. And
because God knows that Ricochet can't fucking build anything with his mouth. Like, honestly, he can do fucking flippy doos all the live long day and make things look great in the ring. But man, boy, listen to him is like fucking eating sawdust.
Dude, go back and watch their promo on fucking Monday Night Raw.
Logan scolded him.
Yeah.
And Logan saying, I don't know what I'm doing out there. I think that's full of shit. I think that he has a fucking firmer grasp on what the hell he's doing than most people who have been in the business for 3 years. He just, like, he may not get all the X's and O's yet.
But that comes with time. That just comes with time.
Exactly. Like, just because Neo couldn't see the Matrix code doesn't mean that he was the one. Like, he was still the one, he just needed to fucking grow into it. I'm not saying that Logan Paul was the one. Forgive me, I'm not trying to make that illusion. I'm making a comparison. So, alright. I gotta say this, alright? Because I'm getting real sick of it.
Oh boy.
I'm getting real sick of the toxic wrestling fans' tribalism. Alright?
Try yourself.
I don't know if you guys have heard about, like, the hubbub of Barbenheimer.
Who?
Barbenheimer.
Barbenheimer? That sounds like someone's first D&D character.
The Barbie movie and Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer coming out, I think, this weekend.
Oh.
And, like, they both look good. They both look fantastic, honestly. And they both look like can't misses. So, like, this is kind of like...
The Barbie movie looks like a can't miss.
It looks really fun. It looks really fun, like it's going to make a lot of money.
It looks fucking silly. And, yeah,
in the best ways.
Okay. Yeah.
In the best ways.
Okay.
And fucking Oppenheimer looks amazing, like Christopher Nolan does. Like, fucking just my point here is that, like, like, movie fans are doing, like, the whole, like, oh, I'm gonna go see Barbie, I'm just gonna see episode, I'm just gonna see both, and, like, no one's fucking hating on the other one. In fact, they're, like, embracing the fact that, like, both of these things are gonna be competing at the same time. Christopher Nolan comes out and he's like, man, this is great, because it means that there's gonna be a crowded marketplace, and a crowded marketplace is great for everybody. So, like...
I see where you're going with this.
I lost where you were going with this.
I see where he's going with this.
Barbenheimer, is that what he said?
Yeah, so
John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
AEW Kyles want to sit there and be like, man, we're so much better than WWE because our boys have talent and they're not afraid to use it.
And then the
WWE stands want to say, you know what? Like, WWE's been in this business because they're not a bunch of outlaw mud show fuckers. Like, they put on entertainment.
Motherfucker.
And, like, it's just back and forth. If you go on fucking Facebook and you look at any wrestling article about, if the title says AEW or WWE, you can bet halfway down the comment section there's an AEW Kyle or a WWE Stan looking to get in a fight. Guaranteed. And again, I know it's not the majority. If anything, it's probably the minority. But the squeakiest wheels are driving me crazy, man. Like,
here's the thought. Stop fucking reading the articles.
I know. I hear
that. Or don't read the comments section.
Yeah, I hear that, and I'm here for it. But I'm a guy that likes drama. All right, I'll readily admit it. Okay,
So you have only yourself to blame.
I do, but I mean, like,
stop poking holes in this, Tom.
No.
Oh.
I mean, tell me when I'm telling lies, though. Like, I know that you guys see it. Like, whether or not you choose to be a Tom and put your head in the sand or not, it exists, and it's happening. And, I fucking, man, just enjoy it. A rising tide makes all boats float higher. for fuck's sake, let's enjoy a boom period. AEW's doing wonderful things, selling out fucking 75,000 tickets legit in London. In London, WWE. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, I understood that
WWE
reference. Thank you.
WWE is putting on some of the best work that they have in 20 years, if not more.
London?
Like, let's take a minute. Let's put the fucking arrows back in the quiver.
Never.
And let's just say, hey, you know what, AEW fans? Like, if you like your flippy doos and your outlaw mud shows and your CM Punks, have at it, buddy. Enjoy. You know what, WWE stands? If you like your fucking Roman Reigns having 87-year title reigns and going fucking 100 days without defending the belt and, you know, taking up an hour of TV time every week, enjoy. Like, let's just stop pissing in each other's Wheaties. Fuck me.
The problem is you're never gonna have it stop. People, it's the same beef. You could argue the same thing with sports teams, man. When you gonna stop hating on Penn State?
Listen.
Oh.
Yeah.
Love it.
I don't.
Let's give him some room to back out of the corner that we've put him in.
For the record, I have said that I respect Penn State. The only time I ever start dogging on Penn State is when it's Penn State Ohio State rivalry week. Michigan, I think I hate. They're dog shit. I hate them. Fucking, I can't stand the whole state of Michigan. I don't give a damn for the whole state of Michigan. The whole state of Michigan. The whole state of Michigan. I don't give a damn for the whole state of Michigan because I love Ohio State. Fuck it. But you're right. You're right.
To you.
I know.
But
who fucking diddled you in the closet in Michigan? Like, what happened, man?
Rob Van Dam.
No, I did it.
Hoots. That's. I think a lot of that is part of growing up a sports fan, and like I think that it's all at the end of the day there's a lot of respect there.
Sorry.
At the end of the day, I think there's a lot of respect there. In this, I don't think that that there's I may fucking hate Michigan with every fiber of my being, but my God, do I respect a well put together program that can beat Ohio State? Like I get it. It doesn't make me happy to admit that, but I can say I respect it. I may not fucking like it. Well, I think that these two that this tribalism, there's no basis of respect. 1 week, someone will call Adam Cole the greatest fucking wrestler in this generation, and how WWE's not gonna hit the mark. And then the minute he leaves NXT and goes to AEW, people are like, "Oh man, Adam Cole, he's such a small guy. He's never gonna be over. He's never gonna be a big time player." The same person, just because he's wearing a different fucking color scheme, and he's not. It's the same color scheme, but it's still black and yellow. My point here that we're getting off the track is I think that there's not that deep seated respect. I think that WWE stands actively hate AEW, and I think that AEW Kyles actively hate WWE. I think that the WWE stands hate AEW because it's new and they want to see it fail because they're like, you're not WWE. I think that AEW Kyles hate WWE because they've been jaded, like a fucking lover scorned. They walked away from WWE years ago saying, this is trash and I hate it. I can't believe they've done this. Look what they did to my boy. And now they're trying to hold all those emotions back.
I mean, you're not wrong, and I agree with your overall sentiment that the absolute hatred and wanting to see one company fail over another is fucking ludicrous, and it's just bad for the business in general. Like, I don't okay, if you gave me the option to say, hey Tom, you can watch an episode of Dynamite tonight, or you could watch an episode of Impact, I'm gonna pick Dynamite because I've at least seen the product and I'm more familiar with it. I don't want Impact to fail. On the contrary, I would love to see Impact, start to thrive or anything like that, because I felt like they for the longest time they've always been playing second to third fiddle to WWE. I mean, really think about it though, WWE has had a monopoly on the fucking wrestling business for the longest time. And like Beef said, we're in that golden age again where wrestlers have options. The fans have options. Things are a little bit more accessible, or at least now they're made more well aware of. Like, people are actually starting to know what New Japan Pro Wrestling is. People are starting to get more into Impact, or get more out into the indies and stuff like that, and consume this content that isn't just what we've known for years and years and years as the top of the mountaintop with WWE. Granted, I will say there is something to the fact of, like, I've heard many wrestlers say, like, yeah, it's great to wrestle here and wrestle there and everything like that, but ultimately everybody should want to get to WWE at some point, because there is a difference in what they do and how they put on their product and everything like that compared to other companies. So don't get me wrong. I mean, they've been, WWE's been at it for, years and years and years and years. And there's something to be said for them for surviving this long. But nobody should actively want any company to fail, because when everybody is doing better, it opens up so much more opportunity, not only for the performers that are already in these companies, but also for the wrestlers out there that are on the independent scenes or trying to make their way into the business and trying to make a name for themselves and just beginning their wrestling journey. So it's, don't be a fucking AEW Cal. Don't be a WWE stan. Or whatever other fucking nicknames for any other company.
You can be a New Japan Nicholas John, though. You can be an Impact Ian.
All right.
Don't be a P3 Ransom.
A P3ness.
I mean, by the sounds of fucking Ransom's costs, I think we might have to be holding auditions for the next fucking P3 Ransom. If this keeps up.
Fucking, who's got Jared? Has anybody got Jared Listerman's number still? Come on, call that
fuck.
shit up. He fucking deserves a shot.
You don't even need to hold auditions, all right? Like, any non-trained monkey that you pull off the street could do the thing that I do, because I don't do anything except for yelling.
Can we call Pat?
Basically,
will that kill Beef?
Basically, you can't hire Helen Keller to be the next Ransom. But other than that,
Water
almost
Ransom,
anybody
water.
Works. Almost anybody. Pooch.
I'm lucky I didn't have a drink in my mouth. I'm so lucky.
That was a fucking slow boil, Poot. Well done. Well done.
You're fucking welcome.
Hey.
What?
Hey.
Hey, you.
Look, it's 9:09. We've been at this for a minute.
It looks fucking dark as hell outside. Jesus Christ, the apocalypse is coming.
That is utterly racist, and I won't stand for it. I think that since, it's been about an hour, we need to do what we have neglected to do thus far.
No. Wait.
And that is talk about the bloodline.
Logging off.
Oh, shit.
So, the bloodline, right?
They're a thing.
We had the trial of the tribal chief. And you had to know that he wasn't going to hand over the keys to the kingdom to Jey Uso. Like, I appreciate them making the attempt at, like, Roman being like, oh, okay, it's painful to bend the knee, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to give
Dude, it was gripping. It was gripping, and it felt super fucking real.
I mean, it did. It did. Look, I enjoyed the segment. I didn't believe it was going to end any other way than how it ended. Like, they didn't fool me with anything, but I was engrossed. I was engrossed in the segment the entire time. And look, I don't want to pick a fight with Beef, because when it comes to wrestling, 99.9% of the time that I pick a fight with Beef, I'm on the losing side. Whether or not I like to acknowledge that but I am, because come on. But I will pick a fight a little bit here and say that the I don't think necessarily the Bloodline story segments are as dead as maybe we once thought they were post Sami Zayn. Like, I feel like what they're doing now is really intriguing and really gripping storytelling with zero Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens involvement. I think they've kind of hit like, hey, we know what we got to do to keep this Bloodline thing moving, and we're going to keep on trucking with it. And it seems like it's working. Dissenting opinions?
No, I'm with you, because I I had said for a little while now, I was waiting for the story to come back around full circle to focus more so on Jimmy and Jay, and what, and the conflict that would ensue with Roman, because the way it all started was kind of under duress anyways for the Usos, if you think about it. So it's fitting that it goes that way. And I'm still unsure of where they're going to go with Solo in all of this, and that little bit of intrigue, that it's enough to keep some people around. Not everybody. That's fine. If it's not your cup of tea, that's fine. No worries. But again, it's one of those things where I look at it overall. When is the last time that we had any sort of long-term storytelling that lasted more than a year or more than
in WWE? Let's qualify that.
Yeah, let's qualify that. In WWE, exactly. The last time we had any sort of long build-up that was a year plus was Rock Cena. So it's been that long. Like, really, it's been that long. And it's refreshing to see. I know that a lot of people will argue, like, oh, well, fucking fans don't have the attention span for it. But, fucking
screw them.
Well, yeah, there's that.
You're not intelligent enough to have some patience.
But look at the merch numbers and stuff like that, like, Bloodline merchandise. And I know for the naysayers and for that part of beef that wants to argue for just for argumentative sake, will say, well, it was going stale until Sami Zayn ... blah blah blah.
Well, I think it was.
Yeah, everything it's gone in ebbs and flows. Started off and went up and up and up, and then it came back down for a little bit, then it went back up with Sami and stuff, and then it's coming back down a little bit, and then now, like, all of a sudden fucking Jay beats Roman. It's not even for the title, it's the fact that Roman got beat. Like, put the title aside, the man hadn't been pinned or submitted in over 3 to 3.5 years. Like, title or not, it's intriguing to say the least. So, going with that, now that builds the intrigue back up again. So, we might get another fucking valley before this whole fucking story caps off at WrestleMania. It very well could go out to WrestleMania. I don't know how the fuck they're going to do it. But if Paul Heyman has any sort of say in it, I trust his creative and stuff like that, because he's got a mind for things. I'm sure he's got some input on this whole fucking hubbubaloo in the first place. So,
Beef, dissenting opinions?
Well, sir, let me talk to you.
Yeah.
I think Tom hit it. There have absolutely been ebbs and flows, and I thought that Sami Zayn was peak Bloodline, and I still kind of think it was. That's not to diminish what's happening now. I'm gonna be the guy who's going to eat some crow here, and I'm going to say that the bloodline after Sammy, after Roman continued his fucking dominance at WrestleMania, like when he clearly should have lost, and I still am not backing off of that. I still think that is absolutely something that should have happened. But
I won't contend that.
But in the given situation that we are in, absolutely, I believe that the fans are ready to pop like a frog on a hot plate. Ergo, this whole Jimmy thing is gonna fucking work. It just is. As long as he can as long as he can take this success and run with it, I think that he's gonna be a star. But yes, I will absolutely eat some crow and say that I was wrong. I thought that the best bloodline was behind him. I thought that there would be no more really great bloodline segments, and I think that last Friday night was really great. Again, I'm not super thrilled with them taking up an hour of a 2-hour show.
That's a little much.
Yeah.
But I get it. And it all came off really well. It's hard to say what you would do differently. Here's my fear.
Row.
What if Jay beats Roman at Mania?
No.
Ow.
Then
Poor Cody.
I
Should have stayed in AEW.
What's the over under on Jay beating Roman but somehow not getting the title out of it? Before that.
Well,
because maybe this is a thing that they were going to be like, you know what? We're going to do Cody and blah 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 next Mania, and then this has transpired and everyone goes, "Oh, well this is working."
As far as everything I'm reading, that's the plan. Cody's going to beat Roman next year at WrestleMania. I'm just worried that, like you said, now eyebrows are peaking. And they're going, oh, well, let's just, what's the harm if we let Jay beat Roman for the title at SummerSlam and have Roman win it back at Survivor Series? What, and I think that would be insurmountable damage to Cody Rhodes' push. I think if Cody's not the guy to take the title off of Roman, again, I'll say, if I can't scuba, what the hell has this whole thing been about? I just don't. Even if Cody's the guy that takes the title off of Roman for good, even if Roman loses the title for a week, loses it at SummerSlam to Jay, wins it back the next week on SmackDown, it's still blown. The whole fucking thing is just tits up at that point. Unless Jay is going to be the guy. Which maybe he is. I don't know. Maybe Cody was always just going to be the bridge between, this whole Sammy thing and then the finality of Jay. Maybe the plan is Jay versus Jimmy at Mania that he keeps fucking talking about. He's that's the goal. They want Jay versus Jimmy at WrestleMania. Maybe that's always been the goal. And who am I to say that, one of, if not the greatest tag teams of all time, doesn't deserve that? I feel like everybody, and I feel like I can say that collectively. I feel like everybody would think if Jay wins, even if it's immediately to lose the title back to Roman, I think that would be a bad call.
I don't see any point in it.
Yeah, I don't see them doing that.
It's not like you dethrone Roman Reigns at that point if he just wins it back. That's not.
I mean, even let's say that Roman Reigns loses and goes away, and then Cody beats Jay at WrestleMania. It still doesn't have that impact.
Nope.
So yeah, man, but, but like here we are in the fucking Sami Zayn situation again, where they have this accidental bonfire at their feet, and they're like, "Oh, well, neat." Like you don't want to piss on it and put it out. You don't want to like nurture it and accidentally set the whole fucking woods on fire, Canada. So like,
Easy.
Hey,
how
buddy.
do you
What did Canada ever do to you?
how do you handle this fucking Jay situation? Like, if he loses outright to Roman, okay, like that's fine. But like, does that squelch any momentum that he may have?
On you.
Momentum.
Momentum.
I know what it is. It's a callback to one of my favorite episodes of Fresh Prince.
Okay.
Momentum. But or if Jay beats Roman, then you just like again the whole thing's tits up. So like I don't know.
But you say it's tits up in regards to Cody. You're putting Cody ahead of the whole story that's in front of you. So I mean, like you got the Cody blinders on.
Okay,
listen, I don't disagree that like I think I would speak for everybody saying that we would like to see Cody get that title and win the title that his daddy never did. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. But I hate to say this because I'm not saying that I agree with this line of thinking, but I'm just hypothesizing at this point. What if Cody getting the title that his daddy never did doesn't necessarily equate to the WWE Universal title, and what if they make it end up being the World Heavyweight Championship?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's gonna happen.
It's possible. I'm not saying I want this to happen. I'm saying it's possible.
That doesn't go with the story of him getting the title his daddy never did. Like,
so
sure, he won a title now,
but they'll try to spin it some way. Look at what happened whenever look at what happened whenever Austin Theory cashed in the Money in the Bank contract for the U.S. title. It never had been done before, and it didn't make sense. But they did their best to kind of make it make sense, and in a way, they did. But it was still weird. That's all I'm saying is they'll try to find a way if they go that route. I don't want to see that happen. So I get where you're coming from in the sense of taking taking the fire out from pulling the rug out from underneath Cody's feet. If he's not the one to take the title off of Roman. So I don't think. Personally,
I mean, it's not just Cody blinders though. Like so here. I'm gonna lay out two like very plain options, and you tell me which sounds better.
Okay.
The bloodline, this whole tribal chief thing, this whole Roman Reigns heel 3-year build. Okay. Right. Either leads to Jey Uso beating him for the WWE title at SummerSlam, or Cody Rhodes beating him for the WWE title at WrestleMania. You tell me which seems like it's a better use of one of the best long-term angles that they've had ever.
I mean, as long as they can keep the story going, I would say obviously the title change at Mania, because A, it's a bigger stage, B, Cody's a bigger star than Jay, and C, you're milking every last bit of fucking storyline that you can out of Roman.
And Cody.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, Cody's not even involved with Roman right now. So
I meant like the whole belt that his daddy never had.
Well, yeah. There is that. No, I get that. So I mean, I personally think that's the way they're going to go. I think that it's going to end up being Cody at Mania against Roman. But I think you have to have that in the back of your mind. Like if you're really worried about it, if you're somebody that's really worried about it, if they're going to do the right thing or not, I think you have to keep that in the back of your mind, and keep the hopeful optimism there. But I mean,
Don't let the intrusive thoughts win, is what you're saying.
yeah, don't let the intrusive thoughts win. Like same thing with LA Knight. Like, yeah, he didn't win Money in the Bank, and yeah, that would have been like the thing to do. He's white hot, but like the way that LA Knight spun it and said, like, I don't need this damn briefcase. Basically don't need the briefcase to be a fucking star, be at the top of the ladder or whatever. Like he's gonna get his. You know what I mean?
And to their credit, like they have been pimping that with Priest. Like he came out at the main event, made his presence known. Not the main event, the world title match at Money in the Bank. He, it was a whole fucking thing on Monday, and then him and Balor showed up on Tuesday with it. So like they are, working this angle with Priest, and I think that again, I'm gonna swallow a minute bit of crow here. I think that Priest with the briefcase may end up working out just fine. Well, I still would have preferred seeing LA Knight, but yes. I think that this is going to work out really well.
I'm not saying, and again, like Beef said, eating the littlest bit of crow here. I think I agree with him because it's not fair to old Punishment Martinez to not give him credit. Because he's done a lot with his with his character work, since he's come to WWE. Because when he first showed up, now he's been the brute of the Judgment Day. So brutes very rarely talk in a faction, but he can hold his own. He can do the character work, and he's very, very good in the ring. So right. I think it will work out. It's just a matter of making sure that it's executed properly. The reason that it was met with such, ennui, I think, by a lot of fans. And the thing that I like is that people aren't bashing Priest. You know what I mean? And I think for the most part, we didn't bash Priest. We were just upset that they didn't do the thing that made fucking sense.
It was more so a forlorn for LA Knight versus vitriol against Priest. Like, if even if I didn't completely like it, I understood where they were going with this, because beforehand it was a matter of Priest, accidentally costing Balor the title in a title match or whatever. Like, Balor being like, "What are you doing out here?" or whatever. Now, the tables have turned, and so I get where they're going with it as a storyline. It's not my first choice, but I'm here to see what happens with it. And I really gotta hope and believe, briefcase or not, we're gonna see some gold on LA Knight before this year's over.
I feel like the smart move, and I feel like what they're going to do is he's gonna get the U.S. title probably the night before SummerSlam. They like to do these big SmackDowns the night before. It's kind of like SummerSlam Plus, or like what used to be the pre-show. Is
the U.S. title on SmackDown now? Is that
it is?
That's right. Okay, yeah, that's right. They did the old.
So I feel like that may be a thing that happens, and I think that would be disappointing to not see LA Knight get the big fucking, because I think we get LA Knight at fucking SummerSlam. I think it's a huge fucking thing, and I think that everybody pops big. And again, SummerSlam's going to be an 80,000 crowd. So I think that they got to make room in the SummerSlam card for it. I just don't have I don't have the trust that they're going to anymore.
Well, and I mean it's fair. They've proven time and time again. But and again, I think it just goes back to maybe the idea of let's see what fucking happens. And LA Knight not being on the program, they put him on a WWE exclusive thing with the what do you call them, with Hit Row, and it was immediately like a super huge like view getter for WWE's social media across the board. Like, and the crowd was super hot. They weren't, just off on LA Knight because he was on a like a dark match segment or a dark segment. Like it's undeniable. It is undeniable proof. And the thing is, I don't know why they would tank him like this. I just don't like why would they not, if for no other reason, why wouldn't they want to make fucking money? Why would they not want to make fucking money? Like, it's all the money. I immediately am going
Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Say another McMahon for the gimmick. McMahon.
Man, that's the reason why. But continue.
No, I know that it's a foregone conclusion. I'm aware of that, but like, it's more the fact that like Vince likes money more than. Which do you think Vince likes more, money or making his point?
Making his point.
Wow.
Yeah,
He has all the money.
Yeah, he has all the
more.
money he needs now.
Well, but it's just kind of the point that like
The ego's way hungrier than his wallet.
it's
Honestly, I think Vince would choose less money and not pushing this guy because he didn't make this guy, then Vince would choose pushing this guy for money, even though Vince didn't make him and he isn't what Vince envisioned. Like Vince envisioned, Rene Dupree or whatever his name was. Max Dupree.
Max Dupree.
Like that's what Vince envisioned him. But now that he's doing something that isn't Vince's vision and it's getting over, I think Vince would choose not to push him and not make money off of him rather than choose to push him and make money knowing full well that, this isn't what I thought this guy was, but look at him go. Just look at him go. Look at him get over on his own. Nope. I don't think so. But I interrupted you. I'm sorry. Continue.
No, you're like it's just, I don't know. It's just the thing is though, because you build someone up like this, and then if his contract runs out and he leaves, wherever he goes, he's going to be a huge star. He's going to be a huge star. Just like Moxley. And that's the thing. It's like, at this point, I think LA Knight is comfortable with, his probably comfortable with his finances. Like, you just be like, I want to go and have fun while I still got tread left on the tires. And the thing, like, I'm already, my point with this, like, not making money, but I'm trying to figure out a space in my budget to buy a Yeah shirt. I haven't bought a wrestling shirt in a long time. And I knew, like, if the second they release a Yeah shirt, I'm going to make space for that.
Kennedy was the last wrestling shirt I bought.
Like, that's my point. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I don't know, man. Like, I thought, oh, hell, okay. Like, yeah, okay, they're getting behind LA Knight. He's gonna win Money in the Bank. This is gonna be great.
No.
And he didn't. I'm like, okay, all right, well, maybe he'll show up on SmackDown. Nope. Okay, well, so what hope do I have that they're not gonna screw this up further?
Temper your expectations, Beef. This is a Cody Rhodes winning the WWE Universal Championship at WrestleMania. Yep. Debacle all over again. Like, this is
right.
exactly what it is. And I'm not shaming is not the right word. Like, I'm not, like poking you.
You're not trying to piss in my wheat. Right.
No, I'm saying, like, they did the exact same thing with LA Knight that they did with Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, whether everybody here agrees or not, that's fine. But in my opinion, at least, Cody Rhodes should have beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Just as LA Knight should have won the Money in the Bank briefcase at Money in the Bank. They're 0 for 2 on these two big stars right now. It's not good.
and what do we depict as success? Like, is LA Knight beating Austin Theory on the Friday SmackDown before SummerSlam a success? Or is that a disappointment because he didn't make it to the main card of SummerSlam? You know, like, and you know, again, we have to, like you said, temper expectations because, you know, less than fucking, like, 6 months ago or whatever, like, this guy was still a fucking maximum male model. So, like, this is something
It's
that
come
could
far
absolutely,
relatively quick.
yeah, and this is something that could absolutely pop next year at Royal Rumble and make a big stink at WrestleMania in Philly. Absolutely, it could. But, like, right now, you know, because we're in the fucking technological age that we're in, we're all conditioned to want what we want now. And we want LA Knight to have all the gold right now. Like that picture of Triple H with every single title in the WWE. We want that on LA Knight right now. Yeah. Get Mulligan Worka. Shoot a champion, baby. But, like, we want it. And we don't want to wait. And we have, this kind of comes back around to Tony Khan. We have to trust long-term booking. We have to trust whenever Triple H says, give it a minute, we'll see what happens. We have to trust that when Tony Khan says, I got it, it's going to be fine, that it is going to be fine.
Look,
And
I don't think the problem is trusting long-term booking in the hands of people that
oh, I see.
are capable of knowing what is right long-term booking. Look, I can't say I would have no problem. I would have less of a problem believing Triple H when he says, give it a minute, let's see where it goes. If Vince was zero involved in creative or dead or going to look for the Titanic, like if I knew he was out of the way somewhere where he wasn't coming back, I would look at Triple H and go, okay, you know what? I'm gonna dial it back. But I can't believe. Look, I don't want this to get into a Vince McMahon's ruining WWE discussion. But at the same time, I can't trust anything that Triple H says regarding creative when I know full well the demon of the deep is just lurking in the background. Like, Triple H is at the microphone, and I could just see, like, behind whatever curtain they have set up in the back, just the tiniest, faintest hint of a pompadour stick up. Like, I know you're out there talking, Paul. Just know I'm back here, and I'm in charge still. Paul, damn it. So I trust Tony when, like, we're like, hey, trust Tony. He's got the best intentions. Okay, fine. I can handle that. It's tough with WWE, though, to fully trust Triple H and believe him when he says, hey, I got this. Let's see what happens. Like, you might be pleasantly surprised. Maybe. Or maybe Vince will come in the SmackDown before SummerSlam and go, this script is bullshit. Change it. Jey Uso, United States champion. Like, no, man, stop it.
Or Solo.
Or Solo beats LA Knight for nothing because LA Knight doesn't have anything.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
WWE. Like, fantastic.
The specter of Vince McMahon looms large.
Oh, it lurks, baby.
The mustache of McMahon is a thing.
When he starts buying up property out in Las Vegas, I'm going to expect the bombs to start dropping any day. Because he's just going to Mr. House his way into it.
Oh, Lord.
Truth is, Paul, this game was rigged from the start.
Well, boys, I think it's about that time. We've given them an extra special dose here of
extra special 200th episode. Take me home.
Poot? You gonna listen to the man?
Extra special episode is done. We're leaving and walking away. Make sure you go to Casual Gaming Dad on all of your viewing sites, except for Pornhub, maybe though. And we want to thank Sean Tischler for his work with wrestlers in the greater Commonwealth. That's Pennsylvania, not Fallout related. And go buy a shirt. It's not $49.99, you dopes. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Ba-da-da.